Today's video is part 2 on my mini-series on the Xtool S1 laser engraving machine. Part 1 was an honest look at these laser machines and what the reviewers, of which there are many, what they don't tell you. If you want to watch that video, I'll have a link up here. But today's video is called, Are You Wasting Your Laser Machine Making Tchotchkes? I didn't want this video just to be another boring unboxing and setting up video. There's plenty of those out there already. My purpose is to encourage you and to challenge you to use your laser machine creatively. Don't waste your time, money, and effort on a laser machine just to make these little tchotchkes. Now, a tchotchke is a small object that's decorative rather than functional. A trinket. For example, when you launch the Xtool software, you can use some of their free patterns right away to start making stuff. Most of these are just tchotchkes. They're fine if you're just in the process of learning how to use the machine, but I see too many videos of people just making boring and useless decorations. So why do you need an expensive laser engraving machine when all you're going to do is make trinkets that you can buy at the dollar store? And to prove my point, I went to the dollar store. There's a whole aisle at the dollar store dedicated to these laser cut trinkets. Many of them are really nice and all of them are $1.25. Now you may or may not have a need for one of these, but they're all pretty much tchotchkes. I even went to the Hobby Lobby store and found some nicer tchotchkes. My point is that there are so many little wood junky trinkets out there that you can buy at the dollar store or the hobby stores for cheap. Why waste your expensive laser engraving machine to make those same items? A lot of the videos I see and projects that people work on are very similar to what I see at the dollar store. So you need to be more creative when you use your expensive laser engraving machine. Let me give you just a few examples. Now here is a very useful and practical display shelf that I made using the S1 laser. The SVG computer file to make this does not come with the Xtool software. The plans for this were purchased on Etsy for $2, and I'll have a link in the video description. I made this on the S1 using 1/4" MDF board. It took a couple of hours to cut all of the pieces and to engrave this logo. This did come out slightly wobbly, but I found the perfect solution for that. I took some of the packing material from the S1, I cut a piece and insert it right in the back. No more wobble. The laser settings that I used was 100% power and a speed of 2, which is very slow. I'm kind of surprised that a 40-watt laser wasn't able to work faster, but I can't really complain too much because the machine is doing all the work with precision and accuracy that I just couldn't do by hand. Keep in mind that the edges are black, and if you touch that, you're going to get it all over your hand. So you need to wipe that down with a wet rag or seal it with some polyurethane lacquer or shellac. The other thing that you can do is paint this and even paint the logo so it really stands out. A very useful and practical application for using the S1. And this is definitely not a tchotchke. Signs. They're one of the great uses of a laser engraving machine. But they come out brown and boring.
It's boring.
Sometimes they actually come out funny. Sorry I called you an idiot. I thought you knew. But signs can be so much better with a little planning and creativity. Here's a cool sign that I made using a double panel. I used a top panel, cut out the letters, and painted it blue. The bottom panel I painted white, so it makes a great contrast. I then put a hook on the back so I can hang it up. Now, you can make boring signs or you can make great signs. Here's a couple other signs that I made using a laser engraving machine, and I hand painted what the laser engraved. Now I'm not just talking about being creative with wood. The Xtool S1 laser is also good for cutting and etching plastic and acrylic, etching metal, cutting and etching leather and cardboard, cutting fabric, and even paper. I even etched a nice looking sign on a thick piece of glass. In order to etch the glass, you first need to obscure it. I used some cheap tempera black paint. After letting it dry, laser engraving, and rinsing off the paint, I ended up with a beautiful sign that I could frame or even light up. The Xtool S1 laser engraving machine, it's a fantastic piece of equipment. You can do so many things with these machines. They're very versatile, and they are fairly easy to learn how to use, but they do take some time to master. So watch lots of videos, learn techniques, and most of all, be creative. Now, if you are interested in getting one of these machines, they do come in 2 colors, black or white, and 3 different laser size options, 10, 20, and 40 watt. I'll have a few links in the video description. I'm going to end this video with one last sign that I made using the Xtool S1 laser. And as I show you the video on how I made it, I'd like you to pay attention to the words that I'm going to read that I printed on the sign. The master in the art of living draws no distinction between his work and his play, his labor and his leisure, his mind and his body, his education and his recreation, his love and his religion. He hardly knows which is which. He simply pursues his vision of excellence through whatever he is doing, and leaves it up to others to decide whether he is working or playing. To himself, he is always doing both. So whether you're using a laser machine or just living life, pursue your vision of excellence. I'm Tom, and thanks for watching Ellie Picked.